So it's been a few months since I went to the movie theater, and my cousins were in from out of town, so they wanted to go see a movie. So I haven't been since probably Deadpool and Wolverine. So we decided to go see Nosferatu. I think the movie was interesting. It was definitely worth the watch. It was very hoity-toity. I will say that it definitely was kind of up its own ass a little bit, for lack of a better term. It had some very interesting things about it. Its acting was one of them. I enjoyed the acting, I did, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. I think it was kind of weird. I really enjoyed the cinematography. I think the shots in the movie were really well done. And that was probably the coolest part about the movie. I would say this movie is worth watching, not worth paying attention to, honestly. And I know that's kind of a bad thing, but it was cool visually. So the story follows a newlywed couple, Tom and Ellen, and Tom is a real estate broker who wants to make enough money for Ellen. So he decides to take a an opportunity to travel to Transylvania to sell discount a dilapidated castle within the city that they live in. So Thomas travels out and then has his encounter with the vampire. I don't want to spoil anything of the film. I think if you're interested in it, you should go watch it and form your own opinion. I enjoyed the movie. I think the story was not good, though. I think it was very rushed. I think the story was a little bit sporadic with what they wanted to do. The movie did not take its time and really slow down in sections. There were some slow sections, but a lot of the time it was very rapid fire. We're going to the next thing after the next thing after the next thing. It was about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you could kind of feel it towards the end. I think there were certain story bits that didn't even need to exist, especially towards the end. I think they just needed to cover Nosferatu and not like this whole other situation that unveils because of him. I really liked the acting in the movie. I thought everyone did a really good job. I thought Bill Skarsgård did a really good job as Count Orlok. I honestly, there was probably 25 minutes of the actual movie that went by with him on screen. And I said to myself, I was like, when the heck's Bill Skarsgård getting on the fucking screen? Like, when's he showing up? And then I realized, oh, wait, that is him. He's just in a shitload of makeup. And I just kind of like laughed myself. I was like, I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Like, there's no way. Willem Dafoe, he did an amazing job as, I can't remember any characters' names. I'm so sorry. I have to look this up. Okay. Holy crap. That's a fucking name. I'm going to say Professor Franz because that is a crazy name. When watching performances, you have two different types of energy. You have the stage live performance, and then you have your like filmed performances. Whenever I think of like a live performance, the performances are done in a way to keep the audiences engaged live and keep everything going and moving, and everything is very high energy all the time. Whereas film has the time to slow down and really take the long shots and like leave a person sitting there just kind of in the moment. And it felt like Nosferatu had that everything is happening all at once kind of pace to it. And the actors had that same kind of energy to them where they would be very explosive and not really let things take a second. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I felt weird about the performances in the movie. I think everyone did a good job for the most part, but there was one character I did fucking hate, and I don't know if it was because I think the guy did a good performance or if I just fucking hated his performance. But he was Nosferatu's like little henchman guy who sent Thomas, the main character, on his sail there. I fucking hated that little rat. I fucking hated him. Other than the story, I really liked certain aspects of this movie. There were certain things with the cinematography. There was one scene in particular, my favorite scene in the movie. Right after Thomas leaves the camp with all of the people living in the forest, and he's walking down the road, and it's nighttime. And you see him, the camera's pointed at Thomas, and he's walking down the road, and he's covered completely in shadow. And then there's like trees all around him, and the only thing you can see behind him is like the light of the moon on the street. So from Thomas's point of view, you see something coming out of the fog towards him, and you can hear the sounds of some like hooves hitting the ground. And as it gets closer, you notice it's a horse and buggy, and the thing just keeps coming and coming and coming. And then it gets so close to the camera, and it almost like appears to hit Thomas, and then everything cuts to black. Then the camera pans out, and you see that the carriage is sitting in front of him, but it's sideways, and there's no horses attached to it, and the door just opens up, and it's completely silent other than the sound of like the ambient like horror movie noise, and also Thomas's breathing. I thought that was like the coolest scene in the whole movie. I thought that was really really cool, super unique. You don't see stuff like that. It reminded me a lot of Bloodborne. There's a scene in the game Bloodborne. It basically is just that, and I like, kind of nerded out over that. It was really cool. This movie is very hoity-toity and avant-garde, so I can definitely see why people didn't like it. It was super fucking weird. I enjoyed it. I'll watch the movie again probably later down the line. I think that's really all I had to say on it. If you guys liked the movie, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.